So listen, about the last thing I expected to happen when I launched Painkiller 2025 is for me to like it, but I mean, listen, okay? This is not a Painkiller game, at least not a normal one. And if you go in expecting it to be a normal Painkiller game, which obviously it should be and should have been, then you're gonna be disappointed. However, if you just play this as like a game on its own, it's actually pretty fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie here. I did enjoy it a lot for the price I paid for it. It's been going on 80% discounts here recently for like 14, 12 bucks. And I think it's an excellent game at that price, especially considering the fact that they now allow you to play completely solo, which is how I played the entire time. You know, you don't have to engage with any like other people or any other bots. You can just play entirely solo, and it's really fun that way. See, the issue I had with it the first time I played during the technical test, when I wasn't really convinced at all by it, is like obviously I had to play with other people, other companions, be that like other people or bots. But I guess recently they made it so that you can turn off the bots entirely and just play completely solo. And as I'm saying, the game's super fun that way. Like, it plays enough like Painkiller to be recognizable. It doesn't scratch the same itch, really. This game's more so like Doom Eternal Vermintide, if that makes sense here. Like, it's got the gameplay style and sort of feel of pseudo Doom Eternal with the setup of like Vermintide or like Left 4 Dead or one of those games. Like, it's not set levels in a story anymore. Well, it kind of is, but it's like, it's a raid system now. So you have these raids, which are just these big long maps where in each area there's like a certain little objective you have to complete with, you know, random bosses, or not bosses, but mini bosses. They call demons, and just hordes and hordes of like common infected, you know, demon spawn things. And that's the gameplay setup. It's kind of like an extraction shooter almost, in that the tarot card system has been completely overhauled here. To be honest, I think it would have made more sense if they kept the classic tarot card system, where, you know, you complete a challenge in a level and then you unlock the tarot card. I feel like that would have made a lot of sense in a game like this, where, you know, it's like a small pool of like 9 raids, you know, multiple challenges per raid to unlock tarot cards. I don't know, I think that would have been better, but the way they have it set up now is you just pay like 3,000 gold and it gives you a random tarot card. And then you use the tarot cards, you equip tarot cards before a raid, and then you lose the card once the raid is over, whether you finish or whether you know, die and end early. So it is a bit like an extraction shooter in that aspect. You know, you go in with your tarot cards to make the raid easier in the hopes of getting more gold and more ancient souls, which are like the weapon upgrade shit. So that's how the game sort of works, you know. And I would have obviously preferred an actual campaign where you go level from level, you know, it's a set progression, and you, like a normal Painkiller game. But for what this is, and for how much, for the price it goes on sale now, I honestly think it's a good experience to pick up. You know, I had a pretty good time with it. Dude, the one thing I'll say though, the characters are just the worst, man. Like, they're all so annoying, man. They all have these fucking like Marvel movie MCU dialogue, and listen, at least they let you turn the dialogue off in the sound options, so okay. The one I picked was Void for most of my playing time, because I just figured he was the least annoying. But even at that, like, he's still got this Sheldon Cooper Big Bang Theory fucking bazinga bullshit dialogue, so.
Healing is available. Hellfire circles us. A flying demon is deceased. We seem to have freed some of the prisoners here.
Really, it's like 3 terrible options and 1 bad option. You know, this game isn't like 4-player co-op either. It's only 3-player co-op at a time. So I'm just wondering, why didn't we just use, you know, Daniel, Belial, and Bill as the characters? You know, established Painkiller characters that people like, that aren't annoying, you know? It just doesn't make sense to me. But listen, I don't know what else to say. Like, the weapons are fun to use, the upgrade path is enjoyable to kind of grind for. I don't know, it's kind of like a modern Call of Duty Zombies situation in that, yes, the grind is kind of fun to upgrade your character and like you keep, you know, leveling up and shit, but the game kind of is just about the grind. And I mean, like, I don't know, I'm obviously just gonna get tired of it, and it's gonna come to a point where there's just like, if you reach the top, there is zero reason to ever touch the game again. Like, there's no replay factor. The game has such heavy replay factor and grind factor that it wraps around to being like, okay, I'm just done with this forever because I've literally done everything I can. And the game itself is not, you know, substantial enough for me to want to come back to it ever. So it's like, okay, like, I'm just done with it. I mean, it has this rogue angel mode, this little roguelike mode that kind of, you know, scratches a replayability itch, because it's kind of like it's like Outbreak from Cold War zombies. You know, you go from one area, you know, do an objective, and then get your reward, go through another area with an objective, and it's all random and shit. You know, that mode's pretty fun. But I don't know, I played it once, beat it the first time, and I'm just like, okay. Like, I wish there was an endless mode on that, because, you know, that would make more sense for me to play it again. But, like, I don't know, I beat it the first time, so now I'm just like, okay, like, I'm done with it. But other than that, I mean, I've said all that there is to say, really, about this game. I don't know, I think it's okay. I think it's fun for what it is. I think I genuinely enjoyed it for the price I paid, which I did not expect to happen at all after what I experienced in the technical test. You know, I'd give it like maybe a 6 out of 10-ish, you know, 5 or 6 out of 10. It's like, it's fun. It's a fun time. It's just kind of, you know, lacking any real oomph to it, which kind of, it just sucks that that's the case. But I don't know, if you can pick it up on sale, and if you enjoy the Painkiller games, you know, or especially if you like enjoy Doom Eternal, or, you know, these co-op shooters, like, you can play it co-op online, or you can just play it solo like I did, which I found to be a much more fun experience. I don't know, it's an okay time, it's a fun time. This should not have been a Painkiller game, you know, because I was so looking forward to this, you know, up to the release date, but the more I saw of it, the more I'm just like, oh, this isn't really at all what I wanted it to be. This is just, you know, kind of a cash grab situation, but them's the breaks, I suppose. But that's it. See ya.